conclude this session, I now request Major General R.K. Raina, Director, School of Internal Security, Defense and Strategic Studies at Rashtriya Raksha University, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Garima. It gives me immense pleasure to see that this Expo cum conference took off as it was envisaged despite Pahalgam happening. And as General Khandari brought out, that Pahalgam is not a tactical action, is one of those actions. It has a ramifications which starts from Pakistan, goes to the valley, has a message for India, has a message for Muslims in India, has a message for Kashmiris. And at the end of it, since I wear the hat of being a Kashmiri also, I feel the receiver end would be the Kashmiri Muslim. Having said that, I am thankful to Services International for giving us RRU an opportunity to host it in Hyderabad. Now ask why Hyderabad? As General Khandare brought out, that we always need to think moving out of Delhi, our destination is Lawad. We thought this would have been an ideal location at Lawad in Gandhinagar. But given that what is there on offer in Hyderabad is firstly the technological environment. It's a technology hub. It has the academic institutes, which I am also fortunate to have gone through College of Defense Management as student, as instructor, as a head of faculty, the College of Air Warfare. It has the DMD, which is the Naval Institute. Similarly, it has MCME, DRDO, 54 Infantry Division, and a whole lot of, even NSG included, CAPFs, it has the police. So it is some place where I thought it would be better that the young minds could also benefit from whatever the policy makers think about. So this is one roof what we envisaged and we have achieved, I think, is the policy makers with a hands-on approach with the startups, academicians, and the think tank is something so that we can come to some practical solution. So that also brings me to the second part, the type of speakers that we have chosen. So you'll have seen people, I'm thankful to all of them, who have a long experience of having risen from the field. And at the decision makers' time, I think they are the better people who could connect to startups as well as the academician. The third important takeaway, as I see it, as far as Rashtriya Raksha University is concerned, well, we would love to have Lawad as the center at some point in time. We have 11 schools in all fields, generally, what we envisage, specifically towards the requirements of Ministry of Defense and Ministry of Home Affairs. The connect, because it is directly under Ministry of Home Affairs, the connect with other ministries, the technology partners and other issues, it gives us that leeway which is not affordable or available to other universities across the country. Similarly, we are in the forefront of implementing national education policy. We focus on skill-based. So therefore, all the skill integration, we expect to hold it at within our campuses, and that is what is coming up. That is one of our aim is to have the R&D and startup environment coming up within the Rashtriya Raksha University. Similarly, what General Khandari and others also talked about, in this whole process of human resource development, we look at how do we fulfill our role towards Atmanirbhar Bharat and also towards Amrit Kaal. And I feel towards that end, RRU is doing a great service. And I may also tell you that all courses and cadres are curated to fit the requirement of industry and of various ministries and defense forces and paramilitary forces. To give a small example, we run a defense acquisition course for Ministry of Defense officials. And it has been found very beneficial. I'll give you two small examples. There was a file of an Air Force ammunition which was lying in Ministry of Defense for quite some time. And this officer happened to do this course. And he visited this Air Force station. Then he realized, yes, this is how the solution is, and went back and cleared the file. Same happened with the Naval Institute. The second person visited a naval dockyard during this IDAC, during this defense acquisition course, and you found that he could clear the file on a faster track. So that is the type of role which RRU continues to play. Individually, I'm thankful to General Khandare, and I think he couldn't have been a better person, having grown from the system and knowing him since we were captains. He was senior captain, I was a junior captain, and having grown in the same organization, that he is the right person to develop, to understand or feel the pulse of people on ground and find a solution at the strategic level, what he's tending at. I'm also thankful to Captain Alok Bansal, with whom I was fortunate to have done staff college. And I always, that time also thought he was much ahead of his time, our time, as far as this strategic environment scanning is concerned. Thank you very much for traveling all the way and coming here. My thanks also to Dr. Harsh V. Pant, who again, I've been listening to him on a number of occasions, and the last one was in 2017 in the Army War College. And I think he gave a very, very fruitful insight into technology dominance becoming a strategic deterrence, the risk of escalation and passing on to technology, that means hands-off approach, the legality and the ethics norms that we need to develop in such a thing. And he complemented what General Khandare had brought out, that who takes the ownership of the so-called in a decision making under such an uncertain environment. What used to be so much of notice period, like for China we're talking about 30 days notice, on the Western Front we're talking about this, duration of wars. I think what is happening on the world environment as far as both Ukraine or the Palestinians concerned, there are no timelines which can be drawn. And that is one of the major lessons. I'm also thankful to Dr. Nagendra Babu, having got inputs on him. He's also grown up with us in the scientific environment and has led a very successful model of a business development of a startup. And I think your 90-10 principle of product development is something we'll carry with us. And imagine that 10% development takes the 90% of time, and also the effort. I'm sure the money would also be in the same proportion. And the technology obsolescence that we are looking at. So actually, I feel that every 2-3 years, you are actually starting a new startup, right? Because that is the pace the technology is making. And I feel our students, we are also present in some number here, will carry this model for something to follow through. I'm also thankful to others who were present here. General Airy, he looks after the strategic planning. And I'm also looking to Shri A.B. Mathur, sir. Thank you for being part in this. Of course, we'll hear you in the second session. And you will see this will be replicated in the session to come down to the threat analysis of our neighbors and also our internal dimension. And at the end of it, the result is the startups who are here in large numbers should see the problem statements and a solution to these. Once again, thank you very much. Thank you very much for being very patient, and thank you very much for a very lively question-answer session. Thank you.
Thank you for watching Drone TV, your gateway to the latest in drone technology, GIS innovations, and AI-driven solutions. To partner with us or promote your company on Drone TV, visit www.dronetv.in. Contact us at +917 5201 23555.